good credit, or you can get around, even having credit by going on a financing deal, or what's another deal other than your owner financing?
Well, there's owner finance. There's going through, well, using cash to buy it. There's going
Mm,
through the banks to do it. There's
mm,
going through hard money. There's
mm.
wholesale. There's different
Wholesale.
types you can.
Yeah. And wholesaling right now. What do you think about the wholesale game as of right now?
Wholesale is great. That's part of the people that bring me good deals are wholesalers, but it has to be a wholesaler that understands. Hey, there's also fees associated with selling your house. It's not just hey, like you got 20K profit and that's it. Nah, did you account for realtor? Did you account for closing costs?
Hmm.
A good
Hmm.
wholesaler is going to account for all of that. If they account for all of that, then yeah, I
Hmm.
want to work with that guy.
Hmm. So the wholesaler, he's responsible for those particular closing costs, and for the
No,
realtor.
he's not responsible. The wholesaler is basically trying to get something cheaper and sell it to an
Mm,
investor. But you have to have some type of value. So what value does the
mm.
wholesaler bring to the table? Uh,
Right.
let's say, for example, me. If I was to wholesale something, I'll negotiate that thing for bottom dollar, so I can still sell it to to an investor,
Hmm.
in which the investor will still make pretty good money. So my
Mm,
value added is I negotiated it super low so the investor can still make money out of it. If I'm not able
mm,
to help the investor make money, then
mm.
I'm not doing my job as a wholesaler.
Yeah. And what's the profit margin like? What's a good margin between the wholesaler and the investor?
It depends on the investor, but I know most investors don't want to do anything after everything is all said and done under 20K. A lot of people wouldn't want to do
Mm,
that because you want to make it worth your time as well. You know. So,
yeah.
and I'm pulling up to the property right now. Actually,
So the resale value of the particular property that I found should be at least he the investor should be able to at least sell it for 20K after all closing costs and paying the
you should be able
um
to make at least 20K after all expenses.
yeah. And that's after paying the wholesaler too, or before?
Yeah, that's like
Because the
after
wholesaler,
after everything.
after everything, paying the
Oh,
wholesaler
I'm
too,
sorry.
what
The
he
the
wants.
uh, the investor. Yeah, the investor needs to make money as well. So like the whole
Mm,
point of wholesaling is you're selling it to investors at wholesale prices. If
right.
let's say the like your seller, the person that you're negotiating with, doesn't budge on the price, and you still got to pay a high price,
Hmm.
then you're not bringing value. Like it defeats the purpose of wholesaling.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, so the wholesaler, so let's say I'm selling you the home, I'm the wholesaler. The house is worth $80,000, okay? As far as like the particular market. And I come to you and I'm like, yo, I got this house and they're trying to sell it to me for $60,000. Are you
Yeah,
still, is that a good deal?
you got to like for if it was me, for example, let's say the
Hmm.
seller was selling for 80K, I would
Hmm.
try to get it for 45 50K. So
No,
if
I'm
I get
saying the
if
market price. The market price is 80K. Like after, like if you was as the investor, you can probably sell it for 80K.
mhm.
But the deal that they offering is 60K.
That's not good because if you
Yeah.
really think about it, you have to repair the place, you have to sell the place. Just
Hmm.
repair and selling will take away from that margin. So a
Hmm.
lot of wholesalers they sell you a place, and when you look at it, you really either break even or only make like $5,000. That's not good enough, you know.
Hmm. Yeah. So you got to go with. I know there's a good percentage out there. A lot of people say about 45%. Basically, you want to get the home about 45 to 30%.
Yeah, but
of
just make sure
the
you
market.
use good I guess project properties that will give you good value.
And how do you find most of your homes? You found this one just by driving out?
Oh, this one? No, I found it on OfferUp. I went to the OfferUp
Oh, this one was
website
off. Right,
right
right.
before we logged in, and I saw a house on there. If you go to the Burlington 27217 zip code, you just type in land or you type in house for sale. You should be able to
Mm-hmm.
find this deal right now. Um, and it's listed right there right now. I'm actually about to show y'all the place right now. I did my
Mm-hmm.
research. I found out who owns it, and I see that
Where you find out that information?
on city taxes.
On the city taxes. So that's public information. You can just go look up and find out who
Yeah, it's
owns it, right?
public and it's free. So if you see, it's a house they delivered the trailer here or a double
Mm-hmm.
wide here. He already has central AC over there,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't finish the foundation. The foundation will cost like $3,000, but this whole lot over here is a pretty good space, and I already know this is what my buyer wants. So it's perfect. It's like, oh, let's see. And this is me opening this for the first time. So he can take this, fix it up real quick himself. This is exactly what
Mm-hmm.
he was looking for. He wanted a trailer with some land.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm giving him better. I'm giving him a double wide with some land.
Right.
And the property ends on that carport. So I like it. I'm gonna go ahead and extend my offer, and
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna make $20K next week.
During the recession, that's pretty cool. Uh, um, and you also, like I said, like anybody watching, um, you're actively buying houses right now. What is your limit? Like,
Yes.
what is your goal? Like within this particular market as a investor, when are you calling it quits and saying, "Oh, I cashed out. I'm cool. I'm just to sit back and just chill for the year or wait on the market."
For the year.
What you go? No, no. Like, so what's the strategy as an investor?
My strategy right now is take advantage of deals like this. That person probably started that whole project and he bailed out because of the economy.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
like I want to find as many deals like that as possible because it's free money.
Hmm.
It's really free money.
Yeah, because they're scared nobody really got cash. So the best advice that I mean right now is find people who got cash and that's buying homes, that's investing, and find buyers. So what type of buyers? What's the buyer market? I know you know buyers, or you have a list of people. Like, how do you find these buyers? How do you find people that's going to buy right now?
Well, believe a lot of people don't really think about it, but a lot of Hispanics they rather buy cash. Why? They already know they're not going to qualify for a loan,
Hmm.
and they've been saving all their lives to buy
Hmm.
houses. So anything
Hmm.
40K or less, you call any Hispanic that has a family or want to start a family, they'll give you that 40K for that house. Simple as that. And almost every one of my workers that's Hispanic, their budget always seems to be between 30 to 40K cash.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
like, if the first person doesn't say yeah, I already know like two other guys that'll buy this. And worst case
Hmm.
scenario, my exit strategy, I would finish the whole thing up. I'll probably spend $7,000 finishing the whole thing up, and I will own the finance. I'll sell it to somebody if they pay me like 10,000 down and start paying me like $600 a month. They can own it
Mm-hmm.
in like 10 to 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's always
So,
there's so many ways to make money in this, but like right now it's the easiest time. And I don't want to say this is not the only way, but owner
mm-hmm.
finance is like key right now because people are kind of nervous about the market. People wanna sell like super low, or people just want to get rid of their secondary properties. So this is the perfect
Mm-hmm.
time to do owner finance.
Mm. And so I was saying earlier, like you may not have to put that much down with the owner financing. Um,
Not at all.
what are the when is like what's the lowest um um deposit that you've ever witnessed or that you ever given for owner financing deal?
The lowest was just taking over the mortgage payment that was due that day. So that was it. so so that was really
Yo,
not like for real.
you
A lot of
you really
people,
can't make this up. I know, I know.
a lot of people like wouldn't even ask. Like this property, I've passed this property a whole bunch of times, but because
Hmm.
I don't see a for sale sign, I
Right.
figured, hey, they're still working on it, I guess.
Hmm.
But now I know, hey, like in between the time of this whole Corona thing, they've posted this for sale. So clearly they got spooked, and they're selling it super cheap. So I'm gonna jump
Yeah.
all over this. Like
Yeah.
that's a great deal. And I've been trying to find who the owner of this place is, and I found him. Like it kind of worked out perfectly.
Yeah. So building, so like the hardest part, as far as like for me that I know, one thing that discourages someone from ever wanting to get into real estate. Hey, how you doing? So one thing that discourages people from getting into real estate is finding those people, to sell to. I know you were talking about the Hispanic market. Those are usually people that's looking to pay cash.
Yeah, cash between
Um,
between like 30 to 40K, like basically 40K or less, they'll buy like hotcakes, man.
So, what are some other ways to find people? Are you putting up signs? Do you use like the signs? You know how like a lot of real estate books say, "Hey, put 1,000 signs up and say you got a home for sale."
No, I do for sale by owner sign. A lot of people that they know they can't qualify to buy a house usually contact me when they see for sale by owner. They always
Mhm.
ask, "Hey, can I owner finance this? I have 10,000," and I'll say, "Okay, like let's work on something." Um,
Well, what about this? Like before I even get the house, like some people think, oh, you got to have a customer before you even have the house. Should you get on the contract first?
no, no, no. If you got a good deal, the customers will be there. Like if you're patient enough to wait like a week, 2 weeks, even a month, you will find somebody to buy that house.
Hmm.
Like don't wait for a customer before you find the deal. That's backwards. You know.
Right, right, right. Because I think
And
that's what
for me,
discourages
for me,
people.
how,
Yeah.
how I even have customers is networking. Just talk to people that you see, like people that you hire. If you hire a plumber to come fix your place, like offer them a Gatorade and kind of make up a conversation. Talk to them. It doesn't hurt to do it.
Hmm. Yeah. Exactly. And that's one thing I was talking about, like this whole social distancing thing, how people, aren't really like we barely communicating when we go out. Like you're not even touching, like you're not even trying to bump in each other. You can't even say excuse me. Like we barely even talking to each other. So
Yeah.
it's like those concepts of whenever we get out of this particular market, um, doing things from a distance or having to find other ways to do things, you're actually sharpening your skills and communication because um, you having to go the hardest route or the longest route of going through online or going through the internet or just trying to be or having to find creative ways to contact people.
Oh yeah.
So like you said, like just opening up once you see people in public a lot more. Like I'm not really into. I don't feel like we. A lot of people are social distancing too much, to be honest, as far as like family wise. But in the grocery stores, and just your everyday life, like you never know where you can find a deal. Like you never know who's gonna be able to buy your house. Or and
Yep.
do you print T-shirts as well? I know a lot of people like. Do you put yourself as a
I'm
walking
I'm I'm
billboard?
as simple as everybody else. Probably anybody watching this or anybody who wakes up every day. Like I'm like today, I didn't plan on finding this deal and coming out the house. Like I was planning on being
Mhm.
lazy all day and just chilling. Like like I
Yeah.
honestly like before I logged on, I legit took a picture of us, a piece of furniture, went on offer
Hmm.
up, and I'm like, well, let me just type in land for sale, and I typed it
Hmm.
in and I saw that thing. So that's really how it kind of started. Like and that's also how you find deals. Like when you drive around, like well, are you just gonna drive around, go home, and not really do anything different? Nah. Sometimes I go into a street I've never went into and try to see what's over there. Is there a piece of land that's vacant? Is there a
Hmm.
for sale by owner sign? Is there a
Hmm.
house that looks abandoned? Like all
Hmm.
those stuff I look for, and then I try to find out the property address, and then look up who owns it, and go from there.
Word. So that's a technique that I used to work for Charter. So that's a technique that I used to do. And within my market or where I'm at, like I don't know if people have noticed, but what would you say that we've been like on another housing bubble where the rates were just going out the roof?
Like going up the roof as far as being cheap or expensive.
No, but being overpriced. Like everything was like overpriced.
I think interest rates are the lowest it's ever been because
Hmm.
I think it's like right now it's like 3%. You can secure like a house with 3% interest.
Hmm.
However, I think we were on the highest end of real estate. If the whole
Hmm.
coronavirus thing didn't happen, I still kind of foreshadowed that real estate will kind of blow up. Like meaning go
Hmm.
back. What comes up must come down eventually, and I think we're going too high as far as
Hmm.
values.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I seen in my area as well. Because like as I was looking at houses and I was driving around and I would like price certain houses or certain homes, I was like, dang, yo, like this particular house is way overpriced. And like you said, looking at trying to find that margin of like an investor or somebody to pay cash was like, really kind of slim because the seller, they wanted to make sure that they made some money or at least or made some money back. So it was one of those things where everybody was just trying to sell their house, and just
Hmm.
overpricing everything. So yeah, it was kind of weird, riding around and picking out houses. But now is the perfect time. Like if you're bored or during the social distancing thing, get out your house, drive around, look at particular houses because people are scared and they want cash.
Yeah,
And
like it's so easy. Like it's up like in the two deals I talked to you about that I closed on this past week. I found those two deals. I actually found one of the deals on Craigslist.
Mhm.
And Craigslist is kind of fishy. You gotta kind of confirm
Mhm.
it's true and it's real. So
Right,
I had
right.
to whenever they sent me the property address. Once again, I asked them for their name and they told me, and they I looked it up on the tax documents, and I was able to see. I confirmed it was them, and they were the last people that paid rent. I mean, not rent, but the taxes. And
Mhm.
I decided to go ahead and go check the place out. When I went to check the place out, the neighbor was there cutting grass, and he was talking about he wants to get rid of his place too. So I was like, well, let me look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's check it out. So I checked it out too, and I started with a neighbor first. I was like, well, I was buying the other one, but why are you selling it? And the neighbor
Mm-hmm.
basically said he doesn't know how this whole market thing is going to end up, and
Mm-hmm.
like he's an old white guy, the neighbor. He was
Mm-hmm.
like, and I'll be damned if I get a tenant in here and they stop paying rent. So I was like, bingo. So I was like, well, like what you think if I just take over, your payments, you get at least I'll pay your mortgage for you. On top of that, you get an extra $300 of pay. So I'll pay your mortgage plus $300, and I give you
Wow.
$2,500 right now to take over, the property.
Deal done.
Yeah, he shook my hand. Like he was like, let's do it. So I
So
used
why
that
did
I
you
used
calculate?
that deal as
Uh-huh.
leverage to get the other deal, because the other deal she wanted either cash or bank finance only. And
Uh-huh.
I told her, hey, I went and check out your place. I loved it. I was actually going to extend an offer, but then your neighbor over here, came and was offering me his place too. And she was like, really? I'm like, yes. But I wanted to
Yeah.
know if you're
Uh-huh.
able to work with me,
Wow.
how much do you owe on your mortgage? And she told me, and I was like,
Uh-huh.
so, let's get creative with it. With this uncertain times, I'll still take responsibility for your mortgage. However, I don't want to put all my capital out there. Let me give
Mm-hmm.
you $2,500 and take over your mortgage. Keep it simple. I'll give.
Wow. How do you calculate? It was loading for some reason.
Oh, but what did you say?
Hello.
Yeah,
The sound was going out. It was loading.
gotcha. What was your question? What was your question?
Making sure.
Question.
Um. Oh yeah, I was asking. I was just making sure it wasn't fuzzing again. So
Okay.
how did you calculate $300 into on top of their mortgage to pay them?
Because like, yeah, that's where I have to bring value, right? Oh, somebody
Hmm.
said sound went out. Is it still out?
No, I think you're good, huh?
Okay. So when I say I had to bring value, so my value
Hmm.
added is you don't have to worry about a tenant, and instead of oh well, she said no. Sound went out.
No, is it good now? And you can ask a question as well if you have any question regarding real estate. Make sure you all can ask questions as well. Put yes if it's good. It's working.
All right. Okay. So like my added value is the extra three every month for allowing me to take over their mortgage. On top of that, they also get extra $2,500 in their pocket.
Mhm.
So they'll feel really nice about that. And lastly, they don't have to worry about repairs, taxes, none of that. I'll worry about that. And when I added it on my calculator, I already found a tenant for one of the places that was going to pay a certain amount for it. And for the second place, I already know I'll
Mhm.
find somebody quite fast to rent that too. So that's pretty good income. I say projected $1,800 a month for $5,000 upfront investment. That's not bad at all.
Wow. And like you said, the worst thing you can probably do it's kind of like one of those, like in whatever, like the science that I do as far as cardiology, we look at the psychology of people, and one of the things that people do is get into this fixed way of doing certain things and saying that you got to do everything perfect. But sometimes it takes a little creativity and a little bit of faith to jump out there on certain things.
A little
So,
bit of faith, a little bit of crazy.
right, right, and believing that certain things are actually going to manifest. Like you've already put it in your mind that you're going to have another tenant. That's like one of the secrets. Like you've already like it's nothing that is really stopping you from saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna have a tenant here," before you even know that there's going to be someone there.
Yeah. So it's like it's and that's the keys, right? So it's like
Mm-hmm.
if I went and saw the place and I already knew I was coming to see one place and I didn't speak to the person uh, right beside me, that was
Mm-hmm.
money that I just missed out on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that like that right there, being open, be open to talk to people around you. You never know what kind of opportunity lies like right in front of you. A lot of people miss that opportunity. Just
Mm-hmm.
talk to people, you know.
Yeah. And what are some of the? I know you like a lot of people think when they have to go to these gurus or you go to someone, they're giving you information you can't find.
Man, all of this is free. Like everything I learned. Like I haven't spent now $1 on any type of guru classes, nothing like that. Everything I found was on YouTube,
Mhm.
and also like actually doing it by myself and making mistakes and learning from those
Mhm.
mistakes and trying to see
Mhm.
what I can do better. All these gurus, they probably
Yeah.
did one or two really nice deals, and they're making their money off of you paying them
Mhm.
to teach you how to do stuff.
Mhm.
So it's different when you're actually on, like, on the field every day making stuff happen. Like, it's different.
Mhm.
And for me, I love it because like, who can say they can make 20K a week just by by jumping on stuff randomly. Like, I mean, you can make really good money or you can make slow money. It's really up to you on how you want to make your money. But there's so much money for everybody out there, man.
Yeah, that's why I was saying like flip the switch. Like, yeah, we're in a time period where you may be working for Bike Squad, or you may this is an old shirt, but you may be working for anybody. But there's opportunities. Flip the switch and change your way of thinking as far as like what's going on around you right now, because it's a lot of opportunity and everything. Some people do make you pay for certain things, but there's also what is the value that you're getting back. Are you paying for years of study? Because even I do look at reciprocity a lot of times, because there's this certain law that someone has studied something for 30 years. There may be some elements that may will teach you, and you pay them back for your time. But if you got some time, especially right now, you can learn a whole lot with the time that you have right now,
Yep.
and a lot of information is like on YouTube and things. Um, as far
And
as
and
like this,
also like it was said in the past, every time a market crashes, that's the perfect time to create new millionaires. Like, there's the
word,
highest millionaires created when market crashes.
yes, ma'am, you are.
Why and how? Like, like a lot of people are like, "Whoa, pause. Let me save my money. I don't want to risk nothing." I'm over here like, let me use all my damn money. Let me take it out. Like with
Word.
let's say if I throw in 100K, that 100K will buy me at least 30 houses. I will make sure
Hmm.
that $100,000 is either recycled or I use it like through owner finance to buy me as many properties, real estate in particular, as possible. I mean, my money
Hmm.
doesn't do much sitting in the bank, so I need to do
Hmm.
something about it. You know?
Word.
Yeah. But do y'all
Um,
have any questions for me, anything like that?
Miss Desirable, the money magnet. Yeah, that's exactly what we was talking
The
about
money
earlier as
magnet.
well. Like, being positive, like you said, before you even have a buyer, knowing where to go to find these particular buyers. Like you said, a lot of that information is online. Some people may make you pay, but it's not worth $20,000 for you to like like when I say pay for information, getting a consultation for $200 to $300. I don't see nothing wrong with someone maybe charging you for that because they are taking their time out. But there are some people that I've seen make people pay $10,000, $20,000 for certain information, that they probably could have got. There is some capital as far as like they put in that time in those years. So yeah, you may want to pay them because because you had to risk a lot to do it, and
Oh
you've
yeah,
had students as well that paid you in the past, but they paid you $1,500 or $1,000 and they just gave it to you because they want the information. But on the flip end, it's about how much work you put into it too, you
yeah.
know, because you can
And
pay
I'm
somebody
not
a lot
gonna.
of money and not get nothing from it because you didn't actually go out and put in the work.
Very true. And I think Rashada, I used to charge quite a bit of money for that stuff, and I started realizing, well, I can keep doing this and making good money, but
Mm-hmm.
what good does it do if I'm not able to if I'm able to share the wealth, even if you take it and use it or you don't take it and use it, it's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
However, I'd rather people succeed because if you succeed, that means we can potentially do business together later, right? So
Right.
there's so much money out there. It's like I already know if somebody jumps on that deal, if somebody was watching this and jumps on the deal in Burlington and gets that deal
Mm-hmm.
before me, well,
Mm-hmm.
I won't be mad because there's still a lot of money out there, right? So
Right.
like as much competition as there is, and remember with last video, there's well over 20 million houses that went into foreclosure in 2019. That's 20 million opportunities that we missed.
Say
So
that again. You said how many houses?
over 20, I think it was 25 million, but it's over 20 that, I missed as an investor. So with that being said, there's
Mm-hmm.
too many deals over there to try to hide deals. I have nothing to hide because I already know if
Mm-hmm.
somebody steals one deal from me, it's all good. I'm gonna jump on another one. Like
Right.
that's just part of life, man.
Mm-hmm. And how do
Too
a lot
much
of
money
people
to be made.
contact investors? Like, I know you was talking to, I think I asked that earlier, but I don't, but how do someone like contact investors? Like, what's the best way to do?
Like
Am I
if you
posting
find a
things
good deal,
online?
let's say somebody's out there, they see a good deal, like they know it's a great deal, they know it's really good money in it, and I'm not talking about no $10,000. Investors want
Mm-hmm.
more money.
Mm-hmm.
They see it's a great deal. You have my account over there. You can legit message me and say, hey, I have this address. I know I can get it for this amount, but you got to have your
Mm-hmm.
numbers together. That's the only thing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are
Right.
always saying, hey, I have a great deal. I need your number. Like, I don't have time. Like, just tell me the deal. Like, if you write down the
Mm-hmm.
deal, I'll scope it. I'm like, whoa, okay, let me hit you back up. So
Mm-hmm.
if you contact me and you basically lay out the numbers, I can get it for 30K, and I know it's worth 100K. He only needs about 20K worth of work. Can you
Mm-hmm.
help me fund it? I will
Yeah.
blow your phone up within 5-10 minutes and tell you,
Mm-hmm.
hey, like let's talk. Like how
Yeah.
soon can we get this deal? Like what can we do to go ahead and secure it, and we can go ahead and split the profit half and half, and we're gonna make
Right.
make something happen like that. If you're not able to contact me, you can go to any REIA group. There's a REIA group in every city. All those are nothing but investors
Mm-hmm.
with money. A lot of them have money.
Mm-hmm.
All you got to do is join one of those
Yeah.
groups and just tell them, hey, I got a deal, but I want you to make sure
Mm-hmm.
you don't. I want to make sure you don't steal my deal from me. I'm new, you know. And a lot of people
Yeah.
are willing to help, man. A lot of people are willing to help.
Yeah. And getting it under contract as well. Or like you said, negotiating the contract. Like there's this particular house that I know I could have got it under the contract, but which I should have if I was maybe a little bit more aggressive, or if I'd simply had to just put $2,000 down or 2,500 down. I probably could have got the home, but it wasn't something that I seen or I liked. So one way that you can secure a deal before you contact a particular investor group